no colonoscopy?
No.
Or can you come directly to your office?
You can come directly to the office. We do not
No,
have that block, so a patient can see anyone who they want to see. There is no limitation in you saying that you have to see.
I know sometimes they say get the thing from your doctor, but I
understand that. Not so there person small island like St. Kitts and not be attended and have your concerns addressed and say if
yes,
I can help or if I can't.
One major concern is the high cost of medical attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while I understand you want to get through and you prefer for people to come back, some people had to strain to come in the first instance for them to be hustled out and they must come back. What kind of allowance is made based on the person's economic situation? Do you all make any?
Okay, I like that question, ma'am. That is important. I've always said, and I still believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is no limitation in accessing healthcare. We've got the health centers that are covered by physicians. We've got the Paxton Health Center, the Mary Charles Health Center, and we have the Joseph N. France General Hospital. Persons can always access care. And even when I see a patient, I would say, okay, you can call if you're unable to come back in, because I know persons think about their resources. Because if it's just to get your results, you can call and follow up. So I could say, no, I checked them and all is well. So that sometimes it's in the care of the patient. I said, it's your health, you need to follow up. So at times the patient cannot come back. But healthcare does cost. And it is worldwide, it is understandable, and we have to get a balance. And thinking that we're not, I don't think we're ever going to get a perfect system where we have universal health care and we eliminate private health care, eliminate private facilities. There must be a balance
because
between
I think that is part of the problem. You know, a lot of our people don't have medical insurance.
Yes.
The medical insurance in this country, because I paid for years, decades. And from the time I hit 75, they said, well, it's lapsed, so it ceased. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I know that the insurance do terminate individuals after a certain age. That's a part of the business of it, yes. And
so why you might have had coverage for some of the things? I learned that the insurance companies, even if you have insurance, they do not cover certain medical procedures.
Mm-hmm. So that is why all the stakeholders, the policymakers need to come together. I think we had a discussion about that last week. It's a multidisciplinary team and everybody has to play a part. But to our listener here, I refuse to believe that in St. Kitts on today, the 15th of April, that you cannot get access to health care. I know that...
Especially surgery. No, someone was telling me, they are giving you one price for the surgery, and the next one for the theater, the next one for this, and the next one for that. When people, in the first instance, they don't have medical insurance, I keep pushing it, get insured.
Correct.
Whatever it is.
Yes, correct.
But people are faced, sometimes with prolonging coming to a surgeon, or even some doctors, because some of the fees, just to go in and say good morning, my belly hurt to me. To the doctor, it looks small. And when you begin to use the comparative statement like in other countries, all countries are not the same. All do have access to the same things.
Yes, I agree with you. You have to think
so
of the
I think some consideration,
yes.
It's supposed to explain to you the situation, and you investigate it because you can't just swallow everything.
Okay.
Then allowance it should be made, some provision, maybe payment.
I want to emphasize, my dear, I want to emphasize that we have the health centers. We also have the clinics at the Joseph N. France General Hospital, that all specialized areas have a clinic day, a clinic time, so the clinic is accessible.
I'm sorry you missed what I was saying about the same clinic day. when you have less doctors working in the clinics.
She's saying there's a shortage of doctors because the doctors have
Oh, you didn't hear me, no?
I don't think she was listening at that time. Remember, she has to get here, so maybe she was busy.
I know.
Oh, that was the previous show?
No, just
No,
before
just
you
before
came
you
on.
came on.
I
Yes.
don't know if you heard her talking about the doctors
No.
overextending themselves. It seemed
Yes.
there seemed to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a shortage of
doctors
doctors,
in the
although we
clinic.
said they were.
You know, I have one.
We had enough.
Okay, I did not hear that
And then
conversation.
the crowd's
I was
still
on-
bigger.
Okay.
So the time it takes to get in, the doctor hungry and tired.
Got the
rush.
humans too.
I will call him and say, Mrs. Henry, you're getting old, you know. So they expected to accept certain things, as you say. Give one thing and go carry the rest back home with you. All right, then have a good day.
Have a good day, my dear. Always a pleasure.
Oh my God! Give one thing and carry the rest back home with you, Miss Henry.
I like that.
Oh boy!
It's always fun to interact with the audience.
Listen, Miss Henry said carry back everything.
I want to end on a positive note, though. I still have faith in our healthcare system. It is not perfect, but we are continuously striving. And I still believe that we are better in than a lot of other areas, countries, regions, because our patients can come in and get health care and get procedures done in a much a shorter timeline.
Yeah.
And we always have a door and some way to access our health care. Healthcare does cost, so we cannot dance around that bit. It really does cost, and this is international. But we have to have a price setting based on our socioeconomic standards. I do understand that we are a developing nation and our people still have limitations. And she also touched the point of having health care. Even when I'm talking to patients, I say, you may not need it for this visit, but you do need health care. What if a major incident happens, a major health crisis, you would need that health care. So we encourage persons to do that as well too. Okay? And not just think, I'm young and healthy now, so I do not need it. But it's very important because at some point you may. So that is how I would like to think about it. And I hope everybody had fun, and it was supposed to be a moment, just a different style of a presentation to make it lighthearted, but also to make reinforce that the empowered patient is the prepared patient, is a patient that comes ready and have their information, have all their drugs, know their history well, have a good, clear understanding of the timeline of their complaint. So you ask the patient, so when did this start? A while ago. A while ago is not an answer. So have these things timed and written down. Be more specific. So I wish everybody a great day, Hortensia. It's always good to be here with you, with you and Patrick.
Same to you as well. Yep, and thank you for coming and educating us. We appreciate it so much. So now we can go to the doctor's office prepared, and as Miss Henry say the one thing, carry us back home.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. Grab a Vitamalt, a natural, non-alcoholic malt drink packed with health, energy, and vitality. Vitamalt contains important B vitamins. Do you want a healthy lifestyle? Then grab a Vitamalt now. Vitamalt takes care of you.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Better prices, better quality. Check Brown. Better shopping for you. Best value for your money. Check Brown. Better prices, better than the rest. Brown's the good food people. At Brown to get the best.
Come, build with
with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
And, well, I was about to say a pleasant good morning. A pleasant good morning to you. And you just heard a rebroadcasting of an episode, very interesting episode of Weekly Dose with Dr. Natalie Osborne, in which she sort of went over some of the things that doctors, are in contact with on a daily basis, a doctor-patient sort of relationship, getting you inside their realm. I did see my phones as if though they were wanting to light up. Okay. Hello, good day, caller.
Good morning to you, Quint, and good
you.
morning to your audience as well, and greetings to everyone in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners, who saves sinners from their sins and from hell, by the gospel only, through faith only, according to the Bible only. Now, Quint, last night I was looking on my WhatsApp and I saw something from Music Festival. And one of the artists that I know of, Movado, is invited. He will be, hopefully, once God spare life and everything, he will be at the music festival. Now, I remember for the last music festival, I complained about Carter because of his gangsterism and badmanism, encouraging such through his songs and that sort of stuff. And I said the same thing for Movado. He encourages gangsterism, badmanism, and so on, at least through the songs that I know of, that he had his past, and I have not heard him in any way recant of them, disavow himself or disassociate himself from them. As far as I know, he still embraces them. And what I said for Carter, I'm going to also say for Movado. It is a very bad thing that the government is doing. How can you condemn crime on one hand, and in the other hand, you are doing that which is encouraging crime? You know, is this like a just for the money? Just for the money? This is like a Mickey Mouse game. But the problem is that this Mickey Mouse game is very deadly, very destructive and ruinous and fatal as well. You see? And it would have been humorous if it wasn't such a serious, destructive thing. But it is a very serious and destructive thing.
Well, Greg, I agree with you, but it would seem as if though it's all about what the people want, don't you think? It seems to me that is what gets the younger generation out, even though I agree with you. If you fall into what the young person want, for instance, I'm a parent, and if as when my children were growing up in the household, if my child decided, well, anyone, especially my oldest, who tends to be very, very strong-headed, he decided, well, Dad, I think I should be able to come in the house and smoke some weed, right? Even though personally I
Mm-hmm.
don't, even though personally I don't have anything against the thing,
Right,
I as a
right.
parent, I as a parent would be thinking, look, if I do that, what kind of example am I setting to the rest? Because he has two younger brothers and he has two younger sisters. So
Right.
what would I? So I could do one. I could allow him to smoke weed in the house, and then when I see the younger ones doing it, I can't approach them and say anything because I've already set the precedence. Or I could say, well, Junior, look, I don't have a problem with you doing the weed, but wait until you're old enough. As long as you're
Right,
at this age and in my house, then
right.
you understand? But we don't do that.
Yes.
So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and that is why I said just for the money, because I know he will attract the lots of young people and he will pull a big crowd. And that's why I said, what, just for the money? Because in the end, the end result is money. The bigger the crowd, presumably the more money you're going to bring in, right? So, yeah, so that's why I said for the money.
But
But
have you listened to a lot of more? Because I have some Movado tunes. Maybe it's because I'm selective, but I don't have any of them that speaks of violence. So have you been aware of those that speak to?
oh yes,
Oh,
especially when he and Cartel had it out.
okay, okay. I'm not
Yeah,
aware
the violence left, right. As a matter of fact, during the height of those songs is when we also had the load of killings and that sort of stuff
Okay,
during the labor time.
okay.
Yes. So I believe Cartel and Movado did play a very influential role in increasing the crime rate, especially in St. Kitts, but not in Nevis, but especially in St. they had the brunt of it. The war was strong. The gangsterism
I
was
did.
strong via
I
the songs.
I didn't even know they had that kind of rivalry, because,
Yes,
like I
it
said,
was a big rivalry. As a matter of fact, there was even it seemed as though the epitome of it, the highest point of it was when they did something at a festival called Sting.
oh, okay.
Yeah, in Jamaica, it was a big thing, big gangsterism thing, and so the Bible said, the love of money is the root of all evil, all sorts of evil, and therefore we have a government that just see money and ain't care about the ramifications and implications and negative effects, and that is why I say, Quint, of course you may disagree with me, but this is what we get when we put men in offices, both in the church and in government, that are not biblically qualified. We don't put Christian. This is what we get when we don't put Christian men in offices who are biblically qualified to be
Where
there.
where
And listen
where
to
where I
and listen. Yeah,
go ahead, go
yeah.
ahead.
Sorry, Quinn. Okay, yeah, and that I recall and note well. I did not say Christian men. Note well. I did not say Christian men. I said this is what we get when we don't put Christian men who are biblically qualified in government and church offices. You end up getting very bad results, destructive results.
That is the narrative you always use, and I always say to you, but how do we know that they're biblically qualified? History has shown over and over, you put certain individuals who you assume would be inclined towards a certain way, and history shows the result most of the times. And if you look at what is happening and what has been happening in terms of the church, I've said it on numerous occasions, and others have said it. I'm sure you've also said it. Everywhere you turn, you see a nomination, a new denomination, a new church springing up, but yet still we see an increase in crime and corruption and that kind of stuff. What does that
Yes,
say to the examples that are being shown?
And even just, I've said it, Pastor, in just number, I said, this is the results we get when we do not put Christian men who are biblically qualified for these offices. And note, I did not just say Christian men, because you have numerous Christian men in these offices.
But Greg, what I'm saying is, even though I hear you, what I'm saying is, history is replete with individuals. Let me use a hypothetical. So I see somebody, as far as I'm concerned, going back to their history, they grew up in the church, we're looking at their lifestyle, blah, 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 everything looked good. How do you determine that they're biblically qualified? Because next thing you know, you put them in a position, and for years it seems to be going good, and then something come from inside, and next thing you hear, boy, there's certain things going on, hanky-panky going on in the church. He's been molesting. How do we know? It is one thing for remember, it's still man doing the assessment. So man, with our flaws, when we pick these individuals, as you say, how do we know? Because history shows over and over again.
Well, we know we have a very good idea based upon the track record.
But
okay?
That's what I just said. You can see them with all the track records. Okay, look at all the church preachers preaching around the world today. Yeah, I mean the place is just full of them. Not only in St. Kitts Nevis, the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, America, all over. You go and look at them and look at the sizes of their churches. Look at the audiences and listen to what the rest of the world is saying about the examples shown by these preachers today. Listen to their rhetoric. It's mainly about materialism. One of the most recent things.
They don't have the track record.
One of the most recent things that we've been seeing with the church, and the church tends to follow examples. If, for instance, a particular preacher sets an example, and it's successful, others are going to do it. And the most successful example they've been following is to say, well, we are empowered by the Lord to be rich. To be rich is a part of God's blessing. And you see what the church is doing to follow that vein.
Yeah, but Quinn, that's why I say have a biblical track record. What is a biblical track record? A record that the man has a deep knowledge of the Word of God, which disqualifies 99% of the Christians, continually preaching repentance, showing that he hates, showing that he hates bribery, and showing that he fears God. And really and truly, I'm not saying people who are in these offices are not Christians, but they are not biblically qualified because they do not have this track record. When I see in the Bible men who have this track record, when they do go in government, what comes after them when they are in government offices is revival in the land.
Well, I'm not aware of that. Show me three. Give me three examples of individuals who had a track record that you say merits whatnot.
In the Bible.
And I'm speaking about in real life now, because
the Bible is real life. The Bible is real life, but
I'm asking you for examples that we can lean on. Because
outside the Bible, you're asking me for examples outside the Bible. And I am saying, when it comes to outside the Bible, I can't tell you of any because I haven't seen any.
So then that solidifies my point that it means that all of those who have been assumed to be such have fallen short. How can you find a preacher who is going to not love bribery when bribery is a part of the church? Listen when I say bribery is a part of the church. Every church seeks a way to bribe their members out of paying tithes. I don't see any part in the Bible that says you have to pay tithes and they say you have to give 1/10 and all this kind of stuff and so forth. And they find all kind of ways to coerce. And it has gone so far now that I'm sure you saw the example where this woman gave maybe 100 and something, and the preacher looks at her and says, "No, why are you in this line? This line is supposed to be for those who are paying what I think is 1,000 up. I mean
2,000.
Okay, so this is the example that we're
seeing.
Those
are not Christian examples.
But
those are examples that are going on in the church. But they are not biblical examples.
Well,
and that's what I said.
So
a lot of these men who put up as preachers and government offices, and so they don't meet the biblical requirement for such.
So then there are no biblical, no individuals that reach that standards then.
Very few, because I can name a very few of them, but they're not really in sync it.
But that's what
name a very
but
few.
I asked you to, that's
Example,
what I
the
asked you
nearest
to.
one, the nearest one that I can say is a man called Dr. Hensworth in Antigua. He's of the Baptist Church. He, I know, have a solid Christian foundation for being an elder in the church. It's very few.
And how did you come
I'm
to
not saying
that?
they ain't Christians,
I'm
but they don't meet the biblical
I'm
qualifications.
asking you, Greg, how did you come to that conclusion with this individual?
Because from what I know of his track record, he is a man who is very well knowledgeable in the Bible, first of all, and two, he's very serious as far as I know in his track record, very serious in obeying the Bible. Dr. Hensworth.
You know the Bible. You know the Bible says.
That's what I've seen.
You know the Bible says you can't see into a person's heart, right? So suppose
that's not really true. That's not really true.
But can you see into
that's
a person's
not true
heart?
Because the Bible says, out of the treasures of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So, by the way a person speaks, and so you can have insight of what is in the heart. Yes, you can. The Bible tells you so. But what I'm saying, quick.
This is why I continuously say the Bible contradicts itself. You know. Anyway, there's another caller. So wrap up your point.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up. So what I'm saying, this is the best thing we have, and judging a person as to whether a person is qualified for such office, yes or not. Even if they fail us in the future, and God promises you once you obey Him, He will take care of the result. He will deal with a person. But it is still the best thing you have to go on a person's track record. There is no other standard other than that to go on. Otherwise, you're just going in the blind. Okay, Quinn, thank you.
Okay, and I did see we had another caller, but they discontinued. So if you feel inclined to caller, you can call back and do so as soon as possible. Let me take this time to take a bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back, okay?
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. Grab a Vitamalt, a natural, non-alcoholic malt drink packed with health, energy, and vitality. Vitamalt contains important B vitamins. Do you want a healthy lifestyle? Then grab a Vitamalt now. Vitamalt takes care of you.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
And welcome back. And again, during the commercial break, I did see the phones lighting up, but they are not presently. So again, do feel free to call in and make your input. If not, I've got a clip or two. I've got two clips really that I want to play because as I've said on numerous occasions, I want this to at times be an educational, part of Island Tea, where you learn something from the annals of history. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quint.
Good day. And how are you today?
Interesting listening. I don't really touch those scriptures area because I know that I know enough to know that I don't know enough. But I can tell you this, because I've been living over the past years, and I'm human, I know that men are just men, who claim to be changed and redeemed,
Yeah.
but being changed and redeemed does not take them out of the presence of sin and the activities of sin,
Yeah.
and also carry them into a more holy position than they were original. And they are still human.
Yeah.
And as long as you're human, all things are open, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. And so, in my mind, if you want to know the identity of a person, put him in a position, and then you will know whether he will fail or he will make it true. Just to look at the scripture a little bit, Job, there was a discussion about Job, and the devil decided do certain things for Job and see whether he'll stand or fail. And God made the decision and say, he will not deny me and he will not fail me. And he didn't. But at the same time, human beings have a tendency not to change when they get in position. The position just reveals who they really are. If you give a man the keys and tell him that he's the boss, you can't believe that he was the same person yesterday. If he have money today, you can't believe he was the same person yesterday who was broke. Now that he rich and he reached up to the top of the hill, he forget all those who he had beside him, and at the same time he disassociates himself from them because he wants to maintain his status quo.
Yeah.
So we are human beings, and as long as we are human, we need to wash each other's feet and to keep other feet to the fire. When if you see me doing something wrong and you don't say anything to me, I have a problem with you. You are not my friend. Because once you tell me, I should be able to say thank you and shape up and don't do the same thing again.
But I will tell you that most of the individuals in the world are not that way inclined. Most friendships fall apart because a friend says, well, I think you're going wrong. And the person feels, how dare you tell me I'm going wrong? You're supposed to be my friend. My friend is supposed to corroborate. My friends are supposed to sanction what I do. Have you not seen that?
No, well, my friend's supposed to tell me that the direction of which I'm going is not the good way so that I could shape up. Don't wait until I fall deep and then say, I could have told you so long time. I have a problem with you.
Well, I would say that you are among the few because the majority don't seem that way inclined. And then again, it might be. For instance, let me show you one example that I learned to not tell friends certain things. I've seen on numerous occasions where, when it comes to relationships, friends have tried to whisper to another friend that, hey, something is going on, something I saw so and so and so. And you know that friend makes you a big enemy. And next thing you know, not too long after, you find that what the friend was telling you was true, and she's gone along and she's left you. And instead of saying, well, okay, you still keep that person as an enemy because you don't want to come to grips with reality. Have you not seen those things with me? If I see a friend, it has to be a hell of a friend who I know is a real realist, who you've seen very few, for me to go and whisper to him, look, your woman is doing something wrong, right? Or your man is to a woman, your man is doing something wrong, because those people are so in love that they are blinded.
Yes, I know, but I tell you this. I'll give you this short story very quick. I normally exercise very well. But this morning, the morning that I got up, the day before, I was doing some work around the house, some real physical work. So I get up early. And who I normally will go exercise with call me. And I say, man, let me pull on this pant. But the thing is that the pant that I pull on was the pant that I was working with around the yard. I say, well, it doesn't smell so good, but it ain't so fresh. But let me wear it because I'm just going to exercise and come back. And one of the individuals said to me, man, you need to go to the laundry. And I couldn't catch myself with laugh because I know that that had to go to their mind a million times before they could approach to say it to me.
And I was thankful that they say to me, and make sure that it don't happen again.
Okay.
So make sure that every time I go out to exercise, it have to be a fresh pant. It can't be a sweaty one.
But my
and so therefore,
go ahead,
I
go
say
ahead.
all of that to say that we should always be ready to be stand to be corrected and be an example. Don't criticize something that you know that you're doing. Criticize something that you know you're not going to do. Because to me, there are lots of people you're going to hear people say, oh, you could be Africa, let's do this, let's do that. They are talking. But what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they living by example? Are they showing unity by Africa, by helping their own brother beside them? Those are the things that I look for. Tangible result. Actions speak louder than words. Everybody could talk. Not everybody could listen. Not everybody could take action. But if we are so much African, we want to go back to Africa and African. We are black. We are here among ourselves. Show Africanism among your brothers and sisters. Don't talk down to them. Talk to them. Don't talk about them. Talk with them. And show that you're concerned and you care as an African brother, African sister. Don't tell me all the things what I know. What you're saying is what I know. But what you will do is what will surprise me if you have the courage and the guts to do it. That is how I believe that you're a true African. Quint, I know you are my brother because we servant for each other. You do for me, I do for you. You look for me, and I look for you. Quint, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
All right. But to me, the thing is that we do so much talking and no action. We're good at criticizing, sometimes constructive. I like to listen to criticisms, which are lots of them are very articulately put and very well put over to everyone. But at the same time, what am I doing to be an example to those who are looking at me? Those are the questions that I could leave anyone who want to be a preacher or who a preacher. Because I could tell you one thing, I'm nowhere near good. Not even 0.101 perfect. But at the same time, we have to be careful when we criticize others because we need to treat others as we would like to be treated and even better. Quint, if you have no manners, you cannot be manageable to somebody else because you have none for yourself. If you try to give something where you don't have, you're stealing it. It's called robbery.
Yeah. There's another caller waiting.
Thank you very much. I think I have said enough, Quint.
Okay. I hear you, but my friend, it's a big difference between me telling you, well, I think your clothes smell a bit, than telling someone that, hey, your significant other, the person you love and have been making commitment with for years, has been doing you a disservice. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quint. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thanks be to God. Now, I agree with that caller. If you're a true friend, and like you said, Quint, if you're a true friend, you should be able to correct someone or tell you you're wrong. If you're a true friend, you shouldn't mind. Now, Greg, to what Greg was saying, what Greg's saying, right? I'm going to say this. True God-fearing Christians, they don't want to be in the politics like India. If you ask them, they'll tell you plain up, they don't want to be involved in politics because, let's be honest, politics is a dirty game. And if you're the true child of God, your life is just Christ. To go run for office and those things. Come on, in politics you gotta bend here, bend there, you gotta limbo, you gotta do all kind of things, and they're not interested in that. So what Greg point? Because if you ask Greg if he's interested in that thing, is he interested in politics in that aspect? I guarantee you he'll tell you no. No, and come back to Greg again. Greg made a statement yesterday just before you close off. that I should literally it's like saying trying to say I shouldn't call on Win FM. I should find a station up here in America to call in on. I'm gonna say this to Greg. Greg, I know no station up here in America. If they have a SK station up here or anything in America, I would not know where to find it, Greg, or find them. Because let me tell you my life. My life, when I get up at 5 o'clock, I have my devotion. I turn on Win FM at 7 o'clock my time. I listen to Island Tea. My life, the average man would say my life is pretty boring. I don't leave my house unless I'm going to the grocery store or I'm going to church. It's church and home. I don't go anywhere. So I always say if anybody want me, they have to find me in my house or they'll find me at church. I don't go anywhere else. So Win FM is my, what am I saying? What am I called Win FM? Win FM is my connection to home. And I ain't just start calling in on Win FM. The amount of a host that done leave Island Tea and Voices.
Well, let me take the time to thank you for being an ardent and consistent fan.
Thank you. You're welcome. And I don't mind because I love my country regardless. Though I'm here in America, my body is here, but my heart is home. I tell my husband, I am not going to get old and bend over in America, not when I can go home to my country.
Amen.
And me, one thing I always set in my mind, I am not going to, the day I start to suck salt here, I am running. I'll tell myself, I'm not going to suck salt in another man's country. I'm going to suck it in my own country. So that things I plant in my head, I always tell myself. So, Greg, if you have a problem with me calling in, I do not have a station up here that I can call in and aid my opinion about what goes on home. Because I would not know where to find one, Greg. If you know of any, tell me, dear. Because I would not know where to find one, and I'm being honest.
Yeah. That is how a lot of foreign nationals keep a link with their home base, whether they're from Antigua, St. Kitts Nevis, Dominica, whatever. They want to know the pulse of the island that they hail from.
Exactly, and Win FM is my connection to home. Because Win FM, I can be honest, Win FM is the only station in St. Kitts that I turn on my computer, and when Win FM Island Tea goes off, I goes off. Or sometimes I'll stay and listen voices. But other than that, that's it for me.
Yeah.
That's just it. But anyway, I'll free the line so someone can call in before you end, Quint.
Yeah. Well, you take care and say hi to the huzzy for us.
I most definitely will.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Let's take a bit of a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Better prices, better quality. Check Brown. Better shopping for you. Best value for your money. Check Brown. Better prices, better than the rest. Brown, the good food people. At Brown to get the best.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
And welcome back. The time is approximately 9:46, which means we have approximately around 50 more minutes before Island Tea comes to a close. And like I said, I have a few clips, but I'll always give leeway to the callers. So, hello, caller.
Morning, Quinn.
Good morning to you, and how are you today?
I'm very good.
Okay.
Yes. The hardest thing for most people is to be consistent. Okay, and that's why I admire people who call themselves Christians and who really make an extreme effort to follow the Christian teachings. You may not agree with, you may not be a Christian yourself, you may have some other religion, but you got to admire those who really try to follow the straight and narrow, okay, because it's very difficult. I mean, you for instance, made reference, or someone did, I think it was Greg, to the fact that Movado is coming here, and it's so inconsistent with the message that normally we'd like to project to our young people.
Yeah.
Right? But what do you do? You see,
that's a good question because again, it's supply and demand. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Well, I wouldn't quite put it that way. What I would say, just like Cleo just said about politics is a dirty game. I don't quite agree with that. It is how we play the game, okay? And
but hasn't the game for the most part been played dirty?
Well, for the most part, I'd have to say yes.
Yeah, well.
But the fact remains, that the rules of the games can change, the players can change, make new rules. They can show by example that they are abiding by those rules. In other words, it's not so much politics itself, right? It's how we choose to play it. Okay?
I agree. I agree because I myself, being forever the optimist, it's like I say, perhaps it begins with a teaching from the very beginning of a child's, from the time a child is born and begins to comprehend, coming up right up to, adolescent and up to manhood. We've got to start training the minds in a different way. When all you hear from the time you're born is that you're human, born in sin and iniquity and whatnot, why can't we change the rhetoric and say you're a human with the potential to be what your environment imposes on you? Because that is what has been happening. So if, like you say, if politicians change the rule and are consistent and people see a positive trend, people will buy into that and you will find that it goes on. But it's the same old, well, I'm going to see what I can get until I'm out of here because, where's that going to bring us?
Yeah, I mean, reward your friends and punish your enemies. I mean, that's like it become a standard rule in politics, which doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
It does not have to be. And one of the more what I would say, discussing things about politics, for instance, it applies in other areas as well, is when you use the excuse, well, we all make mistakes. I'm only human. And that is supposed to cover a multitude of sins.
And
it's the same thing in the church.
Yeah.
You find a pastor who messes up. Well, he's human, he was tempted, and all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold a second. There's another person. Hello, caller.
Good morning. It's me again. Good morning, Mr. McMahon. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
No, Quinn, I'm just gonna just jump in where you quote the scripture about being born in sin. When we say you're born in sin, it's not like it's a condemnation. It's telling you because we were born in sin, even the Bible says even when you want to do good, evil presents itself. That's the sin that we were born in. It's embedded in us from Adam and Eve. So it's not that because you're born in sin, you have to stay in sin. It's just telling you that it's there.
But you see,
Because
Carla,
I'm saved, because I'm saved, right? That doesn't mean that temptation is not going to come my way. That don't mean I don't know how to sin. Because I was born in it, so it's in me. Sin is in me. I can go out and do the fall wrong.
But Carla, I disagree with you. I hear you, but I disagree that we were born in sin and iniquity. I've never seen, and research has shown, I've never seen a child that has been subjected to a good environment just come up and just lean towards being bad. You understand? It's because of society, whether it's poverty or bad parenting or bad social bring up and that kind of stuff, that leans people that way. So what I'm saying is this: stop telling children from the time they hear themselves that their aptitude is to be bad. Their potential is to be either bad or good. It is all shaped by the environment that nurtures them.
But Quinn, no one actually go on and tell the kids you're born to be bad.
But when you go to church, I remember I grew up in the church, and from the time you grew up in the church, even before I can remember before going to church, if I can go back that far, because remember I wasn't at a certain point, at a very young age, I wasn't living with my mother, so I was free to do certain things. And maybe that is why I survived. Because from the time I was with my mother, then it's, oh, you're bombarded with the church that says, oh, you're born in iniquity and sin and blah, 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 blah. And don't spare the rod and spoil the child, and it's brutality. And that's what I know. And I rebelled against it. It could have been to my detriment, but for whatever reason, some force that I can never fathom decided, no, Quint, that isn't the way you're supposed to go, and kept me on a trajectory that has allowed me to be here today. But it could have been to my detriment.
But Quint,
don't we all have a sinful nature?
I don't believe so.
But we do.
No.
Yes,
Mr. McMahon wants to interject.
Yeah. Well, what Cleo just raised is interesting. If you're gonna say that, well, first of all, when people say, when you say we were born in sin, we might have been born in an environment where there is sin all around.
That's it.
But we were not born sinners. I don't think we were born
That's
sinners.
what I'm saying.
Right? And so from that purity, you can go all kinds of different ways. You can take all kinds of different paths. Okay? So you don't. I agree with Quint. You don't make people feel that this is inevitable. The sinful path is inevitable, because I'm sure, Cleo, you would be first to agree. We all have choices.
Yes, we do.
We can choose which way we want to go, right? And Quinn, this is for you. This is a question I want to ask you. You may be kind of skeptical about Christians and how they practice their Christianity, but would you prefer to have, and this is a personal question, an atheist as a leader or a Christian?
Well, what is an atheist? There are individuals who say I'm an atheist.
Who don't believe in God and
there are
any religion and so on.
Mr. McMahon, there are individuals who say that I am an atheist, but I am not.
Okay, all right. The question is still applies though. Would you prefer?
I was distracted a bit there for a second or two. Could you reiterate?
Yeah. Would you prefer to be led by an atheist or a Christian?
I would prefer not to. Let me put it this way. I would prefer to be led, if I'm gonna put led in inverted brackets there. I prefer to be led by a good person.
Right, exactly. Right?
Because like I said,
What makes a good person, though?
some people say I'm an atheist, but I am not. It's just that I do not adhere to everything in the Bible. There are certain things in the Bible I believe. Like I said, my best friend is a Christian. Last Wednesday was Thursday. Last Thursday, I went by him with another coworker from here, and we were sitting down discussing certain things. I helped him to solder something because his eyesight is not as good as mine. We get along perfectly. I respect Cleo. She's a Christian. I respect her husband. You know.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at, right? At least we know that Christians have an anchor, shall we call it that they have some moral
moral compass that guides us.
Yes.
Let me say
What does an atheist?
let me say that they are supposed to.
Well, of course, because
Yes.
that's what I said. The hardest thing is for people to really adhere to the tenets of Christianity,
Yes.
or any religion for that matter, because most religions have an anchor in good. There's a moral compass, as Cleo says, that normally is good and upright and consistent and so on. All right, and it's what I was getting at. If you don't believe in anything, right? How do you know when to apply good and bad? How do you know the difference between good and bad?
But again, Mr. McMahon, I may not be able to fully answer that question because, like I said, there are individuals who say, I am an atheist. I am not. So, what I'm trying to imply here is that perhaps a lot of the people who we call atheists are not. We have decided, for whatever reason, to label them that way.
So how do you describe an atheist? What is an atheist?
I don't know. I guess an atheist would have to define themselves.
But Mr. McMahon.
What I know is that I am not an atheist because I believe in a creator. I believe in a higher power. I believe that look, last night I was sure I was sound asleep, right? And then I heard like a pop, and I opened my eye, and this is something that happens to me sporadically, erratically. I can't tell when it's going to happen. I open my eyes, and I'm in my room on my bed, and I see this glow in my roof, and I'm aware that glow in my roof, and it moves across the room, and then it just disappears into the wall. I'm aware. I'm not one of those kind of individuals who, when they're awake and they're groggy, I'm that kind of person who, from the time I'm awake, I'm awake. And
what do you attribute that to? So you saw that, and you conclude that what?
These are things, when I see these things, and these are things that I've gone through during the course of my life. I know that, look, there's some other thing, some other realm, some other things happening. I don't understand. I don't
because
know.
it might have been a natural phenomenon. You just don't know. But
it was not a natural phenomena. I'm in my room. I'm on my bed.
You don't know that.
I know it was not. You see, because it's the way I rationalize. Okay, let me tell you this. When I was very young, I don't like people to get into my life, but sometimes I want people to understand that maybe some of the things that they are going through, they're not the only ones who are going through them, and they may question them. I'll preface what I'm going to say by saying this. I don't use drugs in any form or whatsoever, so I am always in control of my faculties. When I was very young, it has not happened to me in that form after I reached maybe an adult age. But when I was young, I would awaken. I'd be on my bed, and I would hear singing around my bed. Like, when you you hear some of those choirs and you hear those voices singing. I would hear singing going around my bed. My eyes are open, but I'm not seeing anything. All I'm seeing is darkness, but I'm hearing that singing going around my bed. I know I'm awake. I'm not in any drug state.
No, but there's a state, medical, and it's medical, where you can be awakened and feel like you're paralyzed.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not speaking about that because I'm not trying to move. Because when this first started to happen to me, you could be only because I'm a strong-willed person, but it's like you're on the verge of panic. But because of how I've lived as a young person, always radical, always fighting against the system, fighting against myself, fighting against everything, fighting against life itself, I've always had this part of me that resists. So rather than panicking, a part of me says relax. So I'm relaxed. I'm on my bed. I'm relaxed. My eyes are open. I am aware that I'm in my room. I'm on my bed, but I hear this singing going around. For a very brief time, I can't say the time, the length of time, and then it stops. From the time it stops, I can see. My room now becomes clear. I can see I'm in my room, and I'm wondering, what the hell is this? Let me tell you, I've concluded this. When I look at my life, this is the conclusion I've come to. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I've concluded this. There is some force that deals with me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, that has some kind of link with my life that I'm not aware of. Understand? Some guidance in my life that I'm not aware of. I've been through things that I was not supposed to survive, and somehow I survived them. I can't go through those stories, you understand? But when I look back at them, I know, no, you were not supposed. How the hell are you here still? And the only conclusion I can come to is that there's some force that is looking over me as it's looking over certain other individuals.
Okay, and do you want to call that force God?
I call it a supreme being, some force. I don't say God because if I say God, if I say God, then I lean towards the God of the Bible. I do not lean towards the God of the Bible.
They have all kinds of other gods.
Yes, that is why whenever
and there's a difference.
That is why whenever I speak, Mr. McMahon, that is why whenever I speak, I say I believe in a creator. I believe in a creative force.
There's a difference, though, because I said something just now.
Anyway, we're 4 minutes over time, and I want to wrap up.
Yeah.
Finish your point, though.
No, I was just going to say there's a difference between an atheist and an agnostic. If you're an agnostic, you don't know, you're not sure. Maybe that's what you are. I don't know.
Well, I am sure that something exists that is more powerful than myself, but I don't understand it. That is the problem. We think that as human beings we can understand everything. I cannot understand everything.
Yeah.
There's certain things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That is true. And just like how we think that all problems have a solution.
That's it.
We're constantly amazed at the fact that we're unable to solve certain problems. So, yes.
But Mr. McMahon.
Yes.
Even the biggest atheist, right? That would deny God, don't believe in God, don't have nothing to do with God. When we would say in our dialect, when the tire meets the road, who did they cry out to? God have mercy.
They remember their upbringing. They remember their upbringing, Cleo. So even if it isn't so much that they believed in God all the time, but just ignored it. It is that they remember their upbringing in that time of struggle and so on, and appeal to it.
They do what they do what becomes automatic. It's sort of automatic,
pretty much.
Anyway, we're out of time.
Anyway, guys, have a blessed day.
Yes. So that's how we're going to end things for today. We're 4 or 5 minutes over time. That's how it goes sometime. Can't always be exactly, precise. But, maybe I'll end by saying this. Whoever you are, wherever you are, There are things that happen to you that you cannot explain. The problem is that you try to link it to your known religion. Someone comes, knock on your door, and they says, I'm a Christian and so, and the God and the Bible, and you lean towards that and you say, okay, this is what is happening in my life. Or perhaps they were a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever, and you lean towards that because you're trying to find answers to your own life. I've not done that. I've concluded there are things I do not understand, at least in this realm. Because of these things, I know within my mind that there's another dimension, other realms, and I have a feeling, even though I'm not sure, that when we move from this plane, we go into another. It is only when I leave this plane I will know whether what I assume is right or it is not right. Okay? So, stop trying to let others influence how you perceive yourself, one. And number two, acknowledge that there are supreme powers, but you do not understand them. Stop trying to say that you understand everything. I kind of cringe when I hear people say, I know God, I speak to God. Well, I know that there's a higher force, but I don't know what it is. That force speaks to me at times and protects me at times, but I don't know what it is. That's it. Do take care.
We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Now, the proposals that
Better prices, better quality. Check Brown. Best shopping for you. Best value for your money. Check Brown. Better prices, better than the rest. Brown, the good food people. At Brown to get the best.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Grab a Vitamalt, a natural, non-alcoholic malt drink packed with health, energy, and vitality. Vitamalt contains important B vitamins. Do you want a healthy lifestyle? Then grab a Vitamalt now. Vitamalt takes care of you.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
One and only night. You don't have to leave at all. Car rolls up outside on time. A moment from your call.